welcome back to my channel. It's Nancy and this is Wishes and Weeds, and today we are working on September's junk, what am I doing air quotes for? Hashtag JJ Madness. Oh my gosh, that would kill my kids. The theme for this month's junk journal madness is Marie Antoinette, and I am the guest collaborator. This is the fourth or fifth, I think it's the fifth video. We're making progress. So in my last video, this is one of the pages that I did. So it was scrapbook paper that I flipped open to make a tuck spot. And then I popped that there and I said, this wasn't on there. I said, this is boring. We need to put something on. And I discussed putting a picture on. But I took a look at my scrappy paper. And there was this little cutout on the back of one of the papers. So I cut one out. And my intention is to do some little tags. Oh my gosh, to pop in there to give some color. But, and I am going to use some die cuts, some cut apart pieces from the kit. But I want to zhuzh them up a bit. So I thought that might be a fun video. So I've got a bunch of tags. There's like a whole page of tags. I hope I didn't drop one on the floor. I think I dropped one on the floor. So I've got a whole bunch of tags that I've already backed with tea stain paper, and I've cut them out because I'm going to see how many tags can I embellish, decorate in an hour-long video. So you might want to cut this into two parts for watching, or you might want to skip to the next tag if it's not something that's interesting to you. But let's get started. I have some tea-dyed paper here. I made this using a text. This was created by Lorna, from Taylor Designs. And I soaked my copy paper. Actually, this might be typewriter paper. I soaked my paper in tea and then took it outside, laid it on a table and put the stencil on top, and that's how it came up with this design. So this is I was trying to think of the name and it's not coming to me right now. So I'm going to glue these tags on the back. Let's just grab a piece of scrap so I don't get glue everywhere. I know I've mentioned this 1 zillion times before, my glue stick, because honestly I get asked at least once a video, what what glue are you using, Nancy? It's a generic brand Up and Up from Target that I have to buy when I am in the States. During COVID, a sweet, sweet lady sent me some glue, and it could not have been cheap because postage, as you know, is wild. And she helped me get through COVID. Okay. You can get a tool like this, I believe, at Dollar Tree. I have 2 of them. Another wonderful, wonderful lady gave me these. I use this every single day. I'm wearing it off. That's how bad it's getting. Okay. So I'm going to cut these apart. I'm afraid if I tried to use scissors, I would have an allergic reaction to them. So I'm using my my ruler and knife. Doug's starting to move around up there. I just woke him up because he has to go to work. I think he's counting down his final days to retirement. I woke him up and he said, "I went to work yesterday." Yeah, I hear you, brother. Husband. He got up around, he tried to go to bed early and got up around 11. Where's the melatonin? He was having trouble sleeping. I wasn't having trouble sleeping. But clearly I was the only one in the house who knows where we keep pills. Not quite. There we go, that's better. It would be so much nicer if these tags were a specific size and then I could measure 2 inches or, you know, something. But they're not. I'm so sorry for the glare. I prefer my self-healing mat, but it's so filthy. I need a new one. Okay, I've got my corner chomper thinger. Okay, so that's my tags. Before the video, I got out my Big Shot and I cut some little reinforcements here. Some of these fold over like so. Oh, let's start with this one. Oh, he is gonna sing. Hold on. Okay, so I went ahead and stitched around here with some white thread. Figured that would be a good start. Just pressing down my stitches to give it a nice finished look. And there goes Doug. He's going to work. I don't know why I'm giggling. I gotta go to work too, but in fact I'd probably already be at work, but I have to go to the dentist this morning for cleaning. Nothing too exciting. They called me yesterday to confirm that I was going to arrive. Oh, all right, now he's gone. And so I called back, and the girl I spoke to on the phone, she said, "Oh, this is going to be Lacey's last appointment before she starts her maternity leave." And I said, "I know." And Doug's just devastated because he absolutely adores her. So I'm going to ink the back just a little bit. The color's called Warm Glow, I believe. Just to sort of frame it, not distress. I don't want the white thread to get all brown. Whoop! I put down this piece of paper to sort of control some of the glow. And then the front, I'm going to add some pewter. And the very, very good news is I've already inked all of the other tags, so you'll never have to watch me ink another tag in this video. Everything's ready to go. Just giving that a little bit of an ink. And look around crazily while I try to find my glue. Might work. Let's see. Let's see. Now this foldy piece, it actually goes lower than where the hole is indicated to be, but that's okay because it'll cover where the hole is supposed to go. And it's so tiny that you wouldn't see it in any case. I'm going to use my 1/8 punch. Close, but no cigar. Yeah, that's better. And I want to add an eyelet. I wonder what a gray one would look like. There's brads in there. I thought for sure I'd find a gray one. Is this gray? Sort of gray. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Gotta do the switcheroo. And we need some ribbon. There's one. A former student came in to see me yesterday. We're both supporting a mutual client. we weren't sure that said client would show up, and I said, come anyway. We'll make a pot of coffee and talk about the good old days. So he did come for a bit of a visit. Oops, come on, you. Oh, it's so hard with my giant man hands and tiny silk ribbon. That actually turned out pretty darn good. So in order to keep the ribbon from fraying, you know my trick. Well, first of all, I'm going to stick a little glue in there so it won't untie. And then a little glue on the ends. To prevent fraying. Okay, I'll just pop that right there to dry. Okay, as I mentioned, this one has already been inked. I'm going to pop the hole in first. Before I put that down, I've got, this is called Art Alchemy Metallic Wax. So this is a rose gold color. And I'm just going to color. That. And then I'm going to get it a little more. I'm going with this rose gold. I think it matches the bird's color very well. But you know what it doesn't match? Is the gold at the bottom. I'm going to cut that off. Did you know that you could feel free to cut off things that you don't like? Boop. Sure can. I like it. A little bumpy there. Okay. So we're just going to let those two things, that thing and that thing, that's two. I'm going to let that dry. Let's get a wet wipe to take the wax off. Well, in our house we would call this a nungi. Years ago I had a little accident with some glass and cut my finger and had to have stitches here. And then 7 days later I went to the family doctor to get the stitches out. And he says, "What did you do?" And I said, "I cut my nungi." He laughed at me. He says, "What's a nungi?" I said, "Well, it's a finger." And he said, "Oh, I must have missed that day at medical school." Okay. I just want to make sure. I want sort of the plainest one I have. I'm going to see if this works. As I look for a tool. All right. I have this little brass thingy. Between nungis and thingies, you're just learning so much from me. So it's teeny tiny, and I'm going to make myself a little handle to lift it up. Okay, and this is low tack tape, so I'm just putting that there. Okay. Texture paste. If I can open it. I'm just going to start with a little. I think that's going to work. I'm going to lift it up with my handle. I'm going slow because brass stencils are thicker than the plastic ones. And this is a pretty fine stencil, so I don't want the brass to lift the paste right up. Well, now I'm not sure about that one. Oh, it looks all right when you look at it head on. And that leaves a really thick layer. Okay, let's put that up to dry. I won't leave that too long. Next up. This one's the same. So here, what I want to do, well, first of all, I'll get the thingamajiggy on. I'm still thinking about the nungi. What's a nungi? I said it's a Cape Breton finger. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I believe this is the 14th that I'm posting this video. So the countdown to the wedding is on. Or the 15th. It's the 15th. Okay. I have these teeny tiny pearls, and I'm going to glue them in the center of the flowers. Okay, we'll start with 3. So these are glued in a strip, so I'm just going to cut them separately. And then I'm just going to use the tip of my X-Acto to lay that in place. The adhesive was reattaching. Okay, that one smeared the glue around a little, and it's fine. It's fine. It'll dry clear. I'm not sure if I told you, the glue that I'm using is Gem Tack. I do not trust the adhesive. You know, once upon a time, I was quite a scrapbooker. And I was going through some boxes the other day, and you wouldn't believe how many of my layouts are coming apart. like things have just fallen off them because the sticky tapes or whatever that I used, just garbage. Doing pretty good. I was just looking at the clock, and I think we're accomplishing quite a lot here. Get everybody's lid back on. So this is the Gem Tack. It's also by Beacon. Looks good. Looks good. We'll put you up there to dry. Next up. Okay, I'm going to use my pen that's like an embossing ink pad. Make a border here. What should I do, white or gold? I got both pulled out. Whoop. I was trying to turn it. Experienced stampers and card makers there are probably having a fit watching me do this. Okay. So I could take some of that off. Okay, I will get my thingy. on you. I'm having trouble flipping my heat tool. Probably gonna burn something off. Okay. There's that. Now, okay. Now I got a tiny picture here somewhere. There she is. I'm just going to tear it thusly. Okay. I'm doing it really sloppy. Like so. Little blank spot right there. Okay. I'm just adding a couple grains here. Oh, it just blew off. Ah, well. I tried. Let me just clean up. Just going to add a little reinforcer. Oh, that doesn't look like I melted it. Hang on. Let's give that another go. Okay. I think we're good now. I'm going to pop a little gold eyelet in there. Wrong hole. Get in there, my friend. Okay. Now, what about a little bit of lacy something? I'm going to tear through that thick embroidered leaf or whatever that is, stem. Well, as much as I'm having fun, I'm afraid I have to go brush my teeth and put pants on. Just like that. It was looking just a little too cut off there. Okay. And I will use my Fabri-Tac to glue this onto the fabric. Just a little askew. Not a lot of color there. Just seeing what I might have. Nope. He's kind of cute. Might need to ink them up, see what happens. But first I'm going to take this little window out. Might also have a butterfly that could be perfect. little rose would be nice. Oh, here, I found a little rose. That's what's going on there. All right, time to get my teeth ready to go. We'll just have a quick look. These two are finished. Well, no, I got to put a ribbon there. And then I have these two that need some work. So, yeah, I'll come back next time and we'll finish them up. I think we're about 30, 40 minutes, so not bad. Okay, we didn't do too bad at all. So it's the next day, and now that these are finished, let's see how many more we can get done in the next, let's say, 12 minutes. So we'll move those away. Okay, so I have this one, and again, it's already inked up and everything. I have a die cut from the collection. And I'm just going to ink it up. And we need a little thingy-majigger. I hope you're having a great day, and you're thinking about ways that you could use up some die cuts that maybe you got with an old paper pack once upon a time. Give that hole a punch. Yes, I got a new cutting mat. And this one, I promise, I will not get all wrecked and yucky in the first week. That's all. That's all I can promise. I was at a store called KW Surplus that's about a block and a half from my office. And you can usually get good stationery there. And I thought I would slip over to buy a journal for my student that starts on Monday. I always like to start them off with a new journal to keep their reflections in. So I've got these little foam pop dots here. I don't trust them, so we're going to give it some glue. And the reason I'm adding those pop dots is to elevate the die cut off the surface of the tag. So while I was there, I saw this cutting mat. It's black on the other side with blue lines. And it's huge. It's 24 by 36, so bigger than the last 2, 3 that I've had. And it was only $24. Like, that is crazy. So I'm adding quite a few of these. you don't have dots like this, you can use foam tape. You can get foam tape and cut it into little squares. They still have that in the dollar store, I'm sure. I think probably 4 should be adequate. Come on, you. I need a tool. So I had to clear. There's no blade in there. So I had to clear everything off my desk in order to put the new mat down. And I'm always hunting for a ruler. Always, always, always. In fact, yesterday while I was in the stationery section at KW Surplus, I bought a new ruler. It's still upstairs. But when I cleaned off my desk, I found 5 rulers. Oy vey. I don't know about me. Just gluing up these dots. And we'll place it right there. I will put an eyelet and some ribbon in it in a little bit. All right, next I want to do something similar here. So this is a what do you call that? A bell? Not a bell. Oh, it's got a name and I can't think of it. So I cut this from a scrap and I'm going to put it over top of the matching image. I'm going to add some gold to the base first, just like we did yesterday. Well, yesterday for me, today for you, with some embossing stuff. I just had a weird experience. I'm not sure how to process it. So I went for my walk around the block after dinner, and there was a lady in the street in front of us who had 2 little dogs in the front yard. And I mean, I've lived here for 11 years. I've never seen these dogs before. And the one came up to me and she said, she said, "No barking." And the dog didn't bark. And she says, well, and the dog came right over and I pet it. And she says, well, that's a first. He never lets anybody pet him. And I said, oh, dogs and babies love me. It's adults that don't have any use for me. So she came right out and shook my hand, told me her name and yada, yada, yada. And then proceeded to tell me her life story in a matter of 4 minutes. I'm just going to melt that embossing. And I was shook. I mean, it just came at me. And so I would try to redirect the conversation back to the dogs, or she said this had been her mother's house and now she lived in the house, and I heard about her criminal brother and her cheating ex-husband and her daughter's piece of garbage partner, and I heard it all in a matter of about 4 minutes. Oh, I didn't put glue. I was so busy thinking about this lady. And you want to know what I'm going to do with that? I'm actually going to cut it in half. And put it close to the edge of the, what is it called? You know what it's called. You know, like you would have those brass clocks in one, or I want to say it's a bell jar, but that's not it. Cloche. It's a cloche. Well, that came out of nowhere. Cloche, which means hat, or a kind of hat. Oh, Nancy, always need to be an expert on everything, don't you? So, there's something about my face that tells people I want to hear. And you know, I just go for a walk to relax. You know, get a little exercise after sitting in a chair all day, and, you know, taking a breather from all of everybody's problems. So I think I'm going to have to alter my path. Which is a shame, because there's other dogs on that block that I like. Yeah. I'm sure she's a delightful lady, but wow, no boundaries. No boundaries. But anyway, nice dogs. The dogs love her, so she's got to be a good person. Maybe I just caught her on a vulnerable day. What do you think? Is that possible? So on this one, I'm going to take some crystal drops here. I'm going to put it on a different piece of paper so I can lift it right up and out of the way. And cover the little cloche to make it look like glass. Okay. I think if I just kind of gently blow on it, it might take some of the waves out. No? I thought I just heard Doug's motorcycle pull in. I would have been shocked because he just left to go get a round of golf in. He didn't want to go. He was tired. And I said, there's not too many days left, my love. You better go. I'm going to see how that turns out. I have this frame here that I thought I might put around it. And I also kind of like this little white butterfly. And I thought maybe I would put that sort of on top of the cloche somewhere. But let's just put that aside and let it do its diamond self. All right, next. So I have this one. Can't exactly remember what I was going to do. I had it all planned this morning. Oh, I remember. No, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I've been burning the midnight oil. I'm a little snoozy. I think we're over that 12 minutes that I spoke of earlier. So I have this little branch here, and I thought I would put that so it looks like the bird is sitting on the branch. See what I mean? So I will stop the video now. When everything's got eyelets and ribbons and everything, I will pop back on, show you the finished tags, and then we'll call it a video.